Welcome to the Crazy Cool Family Podcast with Don and Suzanne Manning.
A podcast where we share with you great insights about everything family from over 30 years of parenting 7 kids and over a decade of equipping parents through our Crazy Cool Family ministry.
So let us inspire and equip you to build your best family. Hello, all you crazy cool families out there. We are so excited to share with you today. We brought a friend on. I've got Kenzie on with me, and I've got a new friend, Becky, on with me. And Becky is, she has a ministry. She has a business. She's got a way of life, I guess. And she is what do you call it, Becky? You're a clean mama. Is that what it's all
I'm
called?
Clean mama.
You're a clean mama. I absolutely love that. And we're excited because we know in the busyness of life, when you've got a house full of littles, middles, and bigs, the housework is what goes. It's what gets set aside, and we lose sight of that and the focus and the vision for that. And so Becky, through Clean Mama, has got a passion for it, and we're just so excited. So Kenzie, tell us a little bit about why Crazy Cool Family and Clean Mama even know each other.
Yeah, so I was in my house is a mess. I don't know what to do. Where do you start mode? And so I hopped on the internet. Like, what do you do whenever you need to clean your house?
Oh, Becky, you were Googled.
That's how most people find me.
And found Clean Mama. And I would say I'm not perfect in the rhythms, but I loved just the simplicity of do these few things every day and just let it be the default of do these few things every day and then add one specific thing each day for the sake of keeping up with those parts of the house. And it was just like a simple, easy, approachable method of how to clean. And I would say that as like all growing up, I was not default clean mode. I didn't really mind a messy environment. But as I've grown in my motherhood hat, I've noticed a clean home actually makes a big difference for me and my husband and my littles. And so that's how I found Clean Mama and have mainly utilized the free resources and the methods. But I also know that there's a lot more behind it too. So I'm participant. And anytime I'm like, I need to do some spring cleaning, I'll normally hop on there to be like, what's their checklist? Or
what's Becky doing today?
Yeah, what's the downloadable PDF that I can engage in to give me some direction. And so I think that Clean Mama just has provided a lot of really sweet direction for cleaning my house.
Love that.
Yeah, Becky, tell us about you. Tell us just a little bit about your background, where you're from, maybe a little bit about your family, and then how Clean Mama was born.
Yeah. So I started as a clean child. I liked order.
We were wondering that.
Order, tidiness. I shared a room with my sister. We were polar opposites in the clean room club, and I just really liked having things a certain way. But as I grew older and ended up getting married, had an apartment with my husband, I realized this is harder than I thought it was. And so that's kind of where things started to turn for me. My background is art education. I was an art teacher for 10 years. I taught kindergarten through 12th grade at different times. I loved it. I loved being messy with the kids and teaching them fundamentals of art. And that was just a really fun time in my life. But I did have a clean classroom. and
art, wow.
To most art teachers, because art is a really hard subject to do in a tidy way, because you're constantly bringing in paint and charcoal and crayons and glue and all glitter, all the things that are messy. And especially the majority of the time I taught elementary age kids, and I had 600 kids in a week, and to try to keep some sort of a method was hard. So couple that with newly married, and I'm trying to figure out these systems for my classroom. I all the tables had caddies, everything. I came up with ways to keep it clean and for them to clean up quickly, because it would take them 10 or 15 minutes to clean up, but we only had 40 minutes. So by the time I'm done giving instruction, a lot of time has passed. So I was figuring out, like, how can we clean this up quickly and have them still participate in more than just pencils and paper because otherwise it's not art. So I figured out those systems, loved that experience, and at the same time was figuring out how to clean my home. I worked 3 jobs while I was teaching. I was waitressing and working at Pottery Barn, and my husband had 2 jobs. We were not home a lot, so we didn't have the time to clean. And then he worked Saturdays. I didn't usually. So I would spend Saturdays cleaning our 1-bedroom apartment. And it was like an all day affair. And I was like, how, this is wrong. Like, there is no way that it should take this long to clean a 1-bedroom apartment. It was newer. So it was like, it was our dirt. It wasn't old dirt or like, it shouldn't be this hard. So I ended up talking to my grandma because she was really neat and tidy and did really like all the things that you think of for like the Depression era grandparents, like all those things, like saving the garbage bags and folding the garbage bags in a certain way so they'd fit perfectly in the garbage can when you reused them, and saving like just weird things that she would save and reuse and figure out. And so I was like, okay, she worked outside of the home in the 50s, which was not conventional, had 3 girls in her house, like asking my mom was always clean. And so I was like, what did she do? So I started just dialoguing with her, like, how did you keep your house clean? And she was like, well, you just do something every day. Like, just pick something. Doesn't matter what it is. Pick an area, or like vacuuming. You're going to do that one day. Now, she included ironing. I don't iron. So, but like, here's your ironing day. Here's your vacuuming day, and do those things. And then you're not cleaning all the time. So I kind of ruminated on that for a couple years, trying different things out, and realized that it worked to have very specific, like for me, to have things that I did every day, because then I wasn't trying to decide what was the dirtiest place or what did I have the time or energy to tackle. I just went into default mode and just like, I'm just going to do this today because that's what Wednesdays are for. That's what Mondays are for. And so that was like, my husband and I got married in 2000. So 2000, 2001, 2, 3, 4, kind of in there. I'm kind of playing around with this routine. I type it out, I print it, and I'm checking things off because I made my list. This is, I'm going to follow this. This is how I can remember to do it. And then I had my daughter in 2005, and ended up going, I was still teaching, and now I'm like now we're in a 2-bedroom townhouse, and so it's a little bit bigger, it has 2 levels. But the routine is still working. It's still, working. I did change things every time I had another kid.
Because more work is added to the table.
Well, and
Exactly.
different size houses, and I realized like, well, this is more of that season, and I wanted something like my friends were doing the routine, like my sister was doing it, like we were playing around with it and kind of tweaking it, and then realizing like, what do we do every day? What do we do? How is that working? And so when I went back to work after having my daughter, and then was coming home at the end of a day exhausted and with this newborn baby, and trying to figure out the cleaning part of that, it still worked. And I was like, I can get it done faster now because I have the motivation. Like, I only have this much time. So now I'm working more quickly. What can I do? So I ended up working for like 7 months after she was born. I couldn't do it anymore. And so I became a stay-at-home mom at that point. And for about 2 glorious years, I was a stay-at-home mom. And then the market crashed. It impacted us directly. And I needed to figure out something. So I started working overnights at Target. And I got a job as an admissions counselor with my my alma mater. And I was with two kids now doing that. And but then I had this little blog that I started, and that was in 2009. So I'm trying to like figure out how I'm gonna, add this little bit of income in here and to supplement. And it's the blog is actually doing pretty well. So it's like people are reading it, and at that point, I mean, 2009, that's like the glory days of blogging,
I was about to
because
say, yeah.
no one's on there. Like
Yeah.
there aren't blogs. Like there's a few, but you stand out. And if you post something on Facebook, all of your followers see it. If you post something on Pinterest, it goes to the masses. There's not all the ads. Everything was totally different, and that's what really propelled my the blog. And I started selling printables on Etsy. So those little like PDFs that I did in Microsoft Word, and I used my graphic design skills and made them cute and started selling those. And I was the first person on Etsy to sell printable homekeeping or home care documents. Like no one else
Yes.
had them, and it was that's what really like kind of like turned the corner for Clean Mama. I was offered a book deal in 2013. At that point, I had had our third child, but I was still working as an admissions counselor and doing Clean Mama. And then when I was offered this book deal, then I ended up quitting the other job and then took Clean Mama full time. So that's kind of how it started. It's definitely not um, anything that I anticipated. I mean, the internet didn't exist when I was 18 and thinking, what do I want to be when I grow up?
Right, right, right.
So, I mean, the internet existed, but it wasn't how it is today. Obviously, a lot has changed. And I think that I mean, I love talking about cleaning, and if I didn't like it so much, love it, like it wouldn't be what it is. Like you can't fake it with cleaning. You can't like I love helping overwhelmed moms figure out how to clean their house, how to clean their bathroom in 15 minutes, how to um, relax and realize like the dirt's still going to be here tomorrow. It's okay if I don't get to this
That's
today.
good. Yeah, yeah.
I think that that's the part that like and I truly understand what it feels like to be overwhelmed, to not know how to keep your house clean, like to try to balance playing with my kids and a clean house, and like how can I do that? Like those are the things that like unless you've lived it, you can't tell someone else how to manage it. You can't. And when I think that I mean, I struggled with. I really just wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. Like that was like my
Hmm.
dream, and I know that that there was a better way. Um, and like I just kept looking, like opening doors kept opening, and I kept like following through with different things, not knowing where it would lead, but having faith that it would lead to what I was supposed to be doing. And um, I really I feel like Clean Mama is like it's been a gift to my family, and I still love doing it. So I
I
love.
love that. I love the evolution of it. I mean, I love
Mm-hmm.
the art, teaching first of all being a clean kid, and then
Yeah.
the art classes just, make creating like you have to have a system. And then, the housework itself, and then the being spread so thin that you had to have a system. And I love, love, love talking to the grandma,
Yeah.
and getting her. I mean, I think that's brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
My mom's method of cleaning was she was a creative and she loved to sew and paint and all that stuff. And so cleaning was very far on her list of priorities.
Mm.
And so she would only clean when somebody would come over. And so I thought that's what you did.
Yeah.
And so I remember our first year of marriage, like running around like a crazy person trying to get everything done before we had small group at our house. I mean, and
Yeah.
I just thought that's what you did. And so it created a chaotic mess. And I would even say that as I passed off my cleaning skills to my four daughters who all have houses now and children, I did not do it well. I mean, and when in the season when we were at home and we homeschooled and we did all the things, we actually had a husband and a wife couple for a decade come and clean the hard stuff every other week. And so my children, I think, Mackenzie, did you go into your marriage not knowing how to clean a toilet? I mean, or at least into their college life. I mean, I think that I didn't prepare them. And so, I mean, Kinsey, that's probably why you had to go Google, Becky and find some help, right?
Yeah, Becky, you've been my grandma.
Oh, it's good that I love it. I think, well, and I think that there's also like generations, like it's a generational thing because I can remember one friend growing up who her family Saturday was cleaning day and
Yeah, I
no
had a
one
friend
could
like
do
that.
anything
Yep.
until the house was clean. It was usually around 11 or 12, but they could not do anything until everyone had cleaned the house. Now, that's a great, like, that can work. Like, that might be what works for them. Now, but no one else, that's the only time I remember people talking about cleaning. Like, and I think that
Wait.
that's what's kind of where it kind of fell off at some point. Whereas my
Yeah.
mom, like, it was like, that was like, this is what we do. I'm going to show you how to do this. And then, but my mom didn't necessarily do that with us, other than I can remember cleaning the bathroom floors on my hands and knees with ammonia. But other than, I mean, there's like definitely like a couple like memories and like, but I mean, I kept my room pretty clean. No one was like
Right.
telling me to clean my
Right.
room because I just kind of did it. And my mom cleaned the rest of the house. And I mean, that was just kind of how it was. I feel like everyone gets involved. We're all a part of this family. I want
Yeah.
everyone to know how to change their sheets, clean a bathroom, do their laundry. I mean, there's like some very specific things that my kids can do that most kids probably can't do it because you're not taught how to do that step by step. And so that's kind of what I want to bring to my audience is, hey, here's how to clean a bathroom. Here's how to clean all your bathrooms. I don't care if you have one or five, you can clean them all in 15 minutes total. Here's how to do it. And so I'm showing you how to do a system for cleaning and taking care of your home in a way that's manageable. But then I'm also giving you tips for, hey, this works for most people, but if for some reason
Right.
this doesn't work for you, try this.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask that right there. What
Yeah.
if you've got this parent that doesn't do the checklist routine type thing, like my mom?
Yeah.
She would feel like she was put in a box and she wouldn't be able
Yeah.
to do it. So how do you encourage those parents to not clean their house only when someone's coming over?
Yeah, well, and I think that that's like frantic cleaning. And I would argue that if you are in your reactive, so you are reacting
Yes.
to something happening, if you're proactive and you're cleaning your house a little bit every day, it's going to take you, someone comes over, you can pick it up in 15 minutes. You are not setting aside the day before company comes to clean your house from top to bottom because you've been dusting. You vacuumed your floor yesterday, or like it's different. And if you
That's
can get
good.
past the like, I don't want to be boxed in, or like I don't want to be told what to do, or if you can get past that and see this actually makes it easier and it's going to take you so much less time, that's where, like that's what I kind of encourage. Like I usually say, like, try it for 1 or 2 weeks. Just try it.
Good.
Do
Yeah.
and if you can't, like, if after 1 or 2 weeks you are like, this doesn't work, come and talk to me. But usually people are like, I can't believe it actually works, because like, if you really try it, it actually works. And I mean, there's 4 parts to my routine. There are the daily tasks. Those are 5 things that I encourage, like, doing every single day. You're probably doing them, or you already know that you should be doing them. It's wiping your counters, which includes like putting your dishes in the dishwasher, um, checking the floors. So you're not vacuuming, you're checking them. If you have a pile of food under your kids' high chair, like, let's sweep that up and get rid of that. You're just checking to see what needs to be done. you're making beds, taking care of clutter. So clutter being like bringing the mail in, not having it stacked on your kitchen counter. It's just simple, like maybe picking up toys, straightening up a couch, like clutter, anything that feels cluttery or like too much. And then the last one is I always recommend doing a load of laundry every day. If you have laundry to do, you can also say like just to like check on laundry. Like, do I need
Yeah.
to do laundry? Is there a load to be done? It doesn't have to be like throw in 3 shirts because you need to do laundry today. Like, and that's all that there is. Like be realistic with it. But those 5 things, like if you just change those things or add those things and don't do anything else, you'll notice a difference. But then when you add in those weekly tasks, the Monday is bathrooms day, Tuesday is dusting, Wednesday is vacuuming, Thursday is washing floors, Friday is catch all, that's day to catch up, Saturday is sheets and towels, and then Sunday is a day of rest. You just do those daily tasks. That's like that next level. And then if you want more, I have 2 other parts to the routine. There are the rotating tasks, like those deep cleaning things you should do, but you don't know when to do them. I'll tell you when. And then the monthly focus. So I recommend focusing on a room or an area every month. And then so there's something new every month, and then it repeats the next year. So like January is whole house declutter, February is kitchens, like that sort of, you're just focusing on organizing. It's more of the fun stuff, but that's it. I mean, it's
The
just those
fun stuff. Did
4.
you hear that? She called that the fun stuff. That's the fun stuff. I love that. I love what you're saying, Becky. The 5 things. And so mamas, hear what she's saying. You're already doing the 5 things. And so don't look at this as this new overwhelming project to clean your house. You're already doing it. And so I just keep thinking, wait, oh, I get credit for that. I'm doing those 5 things no matter what, because I'm not a slob and I don't go to bed with 4,000 dishes in my sink. I already do those things, and so
Yep.
I love that you're baby stepping us. So you've got the 5 things, and then add one more thing daily, and then add one more, and then add another thing
Yep.
monthly, and so it's kind of like, oh well, I've got those 5 things down. That's automatic. I don't even think about that. That doesn't really even count as cleaning, and so. I love that. Okay, I have a question for you though, as you were
Yep.
talking, because you said one of the 5 things, make your bed. And so my mother-in-law had always said, make your bed, you make your bed. But what's your strategy behind that? Because I know a lot of people that do not make their bed. And so what's your mindset around that? And just share with us the value of that.
Yeah. Well, okay. So if let's say you leave for work and you get dressed, get ready for work, and you leave your bed unmade. Okay, you're gone all day. You come home, and it's time to to settle down for the evening, and you walk into your bedroom, and your bed is not made. While it might not, I mean, you might be like, okay, here we go. But what if you walk into your room after a day away and your bed is made, and you can fold back the comforter or quilt and get into bed? It feels better. It
Yeah.
makes it makes your whole room look clean. It truly does. You could have, I mean, if you've got piles of clothes on the floor, or nightstand like with stacks of things, I mean, obviously it's gonna, that you'll notice that too. But that it takes like a minute maybe.
Yeah.
Like it's nothing. Just pull the comforter up, pull the quilt up, put the pillows. They don't have to be perfect. Just set them on the top. And but alternatively, if you're home all day and you walk in your room 3 or 4 times during the day and you see that made bed, that also is like, it's a little bit of a mood builder. I don't care who you are or where you like
It's
what you
something to be
think.
done.
Like,
Oh, I have to do that. Every time
yeah,
you walk in the room, I have to
yeah,
do that. I have to do
yeah,
that. I have to do that. Yeah.
yeah. You see it and like just do it.
Yeah.
And doing
Yeah.
it first thing, like just, I mean, people, there's arguments out there like air out the bed and like take the comforter down so that everything airs out and overnight and
That's next level.
right. I mean, that's sure, do that if you
Yeah.
want to. I'm like, as soon as I'm done with like ready to leave the room in the morning, that bed's made. Either I'll do it or my husband will do it. Whoever thinks of it first, one of us does it, and then it's done. Now, I will adjust his pillow placement.
Yeah, same. Me too.
Or like kind of straighten it out a little bit, because he'll usually like make it and then sit on it and put on his socks or whatever. So I mean, it's not like I don't come in and like kind of tweak it, but
Yeah.
one of us makes it, and then and then it's just like all day long, or anytime you walk in there, it's like, oh, it looks so nice.
Yeah,
I don't know.
my boys would always, when I'd be like, boys, make your bed, make your bed. They're like, Mom, that's so dumb because we're just going to sleep in it tonight, you know? But the reality is you make it to sleep in it. So go
Yeah.
ahead and make it to be beautiful. You've got to adjust the covers to sleep in it anyway.
Yeah.
I think I read somewhere somewhere that millionaires make their beds. Millionaires make their beds, but that makes me laugh because I'm like, millionaires have maids that come in and make their beds.
Right. They're not making their bed.
Okay, so I have another
Hang on,
question
Mom,
for
I
you.
have a thing to
Yeah.
comment real
Okay,
quick.
good. Yeah.
One of the things I love that you've hit on multiple times is the tension of doing the thing versus thinking about doing the thing. And just how often walking around the house and being like, oh, I need to wipe this counter. Oh, I need to do this. But then, okay, it takes like 2 minutes, do it. But also knowing the tension of like, okay, well, now this child just threw sand all over the house. So now I got to go mend this. And now the things I haven't done all day are screaming at me because but it is like an emotional experience being in your home. The feeling of making your bed versus the feeling of not having a bed made. And so that's another thing that I love about doing the few things every day, that like I could make a list of the things that when these things are done, Parker, my husband, is like, the house is so clean, good job. And I'm like, no, it's not. Like there's so many things around the house that are not clean, but if there's like nothing on the stairs, the floor
counters.
you don't pick up like crumbs on your feet when you walk in the kitchen, like those are the things that he's like, this house is amazing, you're doing a good job. And so I just feel that for the moms that are listening to this, and in the method that you've created is, okay, do it, and like actually creating a route to do it, instead of it being, I'm thinking about doing it all day long, but not. And so then I'm stressed out.
Yeah. Well, and a couple things with that, like I always think of it like I get to do this too. Like it's a privilege to have, and like a blessing to have a family that you get to take care of a house for.
Good.
Like not everyone has that.
It's good.
So like kind of sometimes reframing like how, like if there's a mess and you have kids that you have to pick up after, or that you get to teach how to pick up their toys, and so kind of thinking like I get to do this rather than I have to do this, or sometimes helps me. And then the other thing is like, how will I feel when this is done? I think about that a lot, especially like I don't like cleaning bathrooms, and I don't like doing dishes. Like those two things are kind of like the, and if I always think about how will I feel tomorrow morning if I walk into the kitchen and it's clean and I don't have to do that pile of dishes on the counter. I'll feel much better tomorrow morning than the 3 minutes that it takes me to load this right now. I mean, like, or I'll time myself, like just to be like, okay, I don't want to do this. I hate doing this. I've put this off all day long. I'm going to time myself and see how long it actually takes. It's usually like under 5 minutes for pretty much any household task.
That's good.
And that you put off, and it's like, why don't you just do the thing? Like get the thing done, take care of it. It'll make you feel better. And then you're starting to like rewire your brain in like, I'm just going to take care of this. I'm just going to do this, instead of putting it off, procrastinating, like just finding the rhythm and the time to take care of the things. It'll take less time in the long run. And to me, that's kind of the beauty of it.
I love that. You get to do it. That's a perspective change. That's brilliant. Instead of you have to do it. And it's so much more motivating to get to do it. And then do the thing. Just do the thing. Just do it. Nike, just do it. And then to rewire your brain. I love that. Okay, I have a question for you. So how do you get your kids involved in all that? Like how do you scoop them in? Because Kenzie's got a 2-year-old, and she's the
Very
biggest
helpful.
very
She's
big.
so
I was about to say,
helpful.
the
I say
biggest,
take this
best
to the trash, and
helpful
she loves it.
Yeah.
ever. You
She
give
got it
them
back in
anything
the
and
other
they love
day.
to wipe. Yeah. And
Well, and
so,
that's like how our first was a girl, and she was like that. Like, do you want to do laundry? Yeah. Like, I mean, anything I suggested, she wanted to do it. She wanted to help. Like, if I was working on sweeping, she was along with her play broom or her, play vacuum, whatever she was using. Like, she loved to do that. And get them involved as young as you possibly can, because then that builds those habits, and they, even if they don't, as they get older, if they don't want to do it, they still know how. And you can still, like, hey,
that's
you got
good.
it. Before you do this, you've got to take care of this. Like, my now I have my daughter, and then I have two boys, and they're drastically different in what they want to do, how they want to help, if they will help. I mean, it's night and day. And um but it's just, I mean, there's personality differences, and that's fine. Like, I would never expect, even if I had three girls, I would not expect them to all want to do things the same way. It's like how my sister and I are very different when we were growing up, with the messy room and the clean room. Like, it was it's just personality. And I think that realizing that every kid is different, figuring out how they'll you can get them involved is
That's
really
good.
important. Like, my youngest, he would clean windows, doors, like anything that I could give him that he could spray and wipe. Like, he was all over it. So those are the things that he did and he would help with. And I mean, sorting clothes, sorting socks, like, here, put your socks in a pile, put your undies in a pile, put your shirts in a pile. Like, he would do that, whereas my daughter would be like folding it up and putting it in a little stack. And, like, it's
Right.
just, it doesn't matter how you get them involved any way you possibly can. And I think that that's just the earlier the better. Now,
Good.
as my kids have gotten older, I do not clean their rooms. I don't make their beds.
Yeah.
I mean, they're teenagers, and I, like, if they don't have a made bed, I'm not going to ask them to go back and do it necessarily, because there's kind of a kind of a fine line. I recommend it, like, hey, your room looks like trash. Like, let's
Yeah,
go clean
yeah,
that
yeah.
up.
How do you live in that chaos? Yeah.
Right. But I'm not going in there and, like, micromanaging them. So I kind of, there's a fine line with that. 9 times out of 10, I mean, they can whip it into shape in no time because they know how to do it. But I'm
Hmm.
also not, I mean, they leave before 7 in the morning. Like, they don't always make a bed. Now, my oldest boy, he has to read the Make Your Bed book. It's by, like, I can't remember if it's a veteran, or Army colonel or something that wrote it. I have not read it, but it's on his nightstand. Guess whose bed is being made every single day since he started reading that book? And, like, it all, like, who's been telling him all along to make his bed every
Right,
single day?
right, right.
It's like this book that he's reading for school, and all of a sudden his bed is like, military, like,
Yeah.
straight. But
The
I mean,
value, the
yeah.
value. That's good. Okay, well, I have one more question, and then
Yeah.
Kinsey, if you've got anything that you want to ask, and then anything else, Becky, that you want to share. But
Mhm.
you said that your son loves to spray things. So what's he spraying? Like, what's that cleaning what are
Yeah.
what's your go-to? I was reading your scrolling through your Instagram post, and you said, if you want your toilet not to smell bad, then hydrogen peroxide.
Yeah.
And never. I mean, I'm like, really? Okay. So just what's some more
Yeah.
hacks?
Well, so when he was little, I just put water in there, like, in a
Oh,
cloth. Like, yeah, I mean,
really?
like, it wasn't even anything. I do, like, generally speaking, though, I mean, as they get older, like, my favorite DIY cleaner is, my stone spray, and it's a cup and a half of water, a quarter of a cup of rubbing alcohol, and 1 to 2 teaspoons of dish soap in a glass
Interesting.
bottle, plastic bottle, whatever you want, shake it up, and then you can spray that on pretty much any surface. Like, it works on stone or granite or anything that you can't use. There's vinegar on. because it's vinegar free. So it's, I love that one. That's my favorite.
And it doesn't
have
make
my,
it like sudsy, and because I guess the rubbing
nope,
alcohol and the rubbing alcohol doesn't smell too strong.
nope,
Do you ever
it's
put
not.
like a dot of like essential oils, like
You
lemon
could,
oil or
yep, you could
something?
put a couple drops of that in, but it honestly, it smells like whatever your dish soap is.
Yeah. Do you have a
That's
certain, like, do you use Dawn or do you use like a
no,
more,
yeah, I
because
have my
isn't Dawn
own.
toxic?
Yeah, everything that I use is non-toxic. I don't use bleach or anything like that.
Yeah.
And I do have my own product line, and I
Okay.
use
Okay.
like an
Tell
all-purpose
us about
cleaning
that.
soap. Yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah, it's an all. I have an all-purpose cleaning soap that I use, and that's what I put in the like anytime
Okay.
I have something like that. So
Okay. So
yeah,
you have a whole purpose line. I mean, you have a
yeah,
whole product line that,
yeah,
okay. All right.
yeah, yeah. That was the non-toxic was really important to me. Um, before I even started the blog, because my daughter had like a scare with a bleach based product, and that was supposed to be safe for high chairs and to use around kids and wasn't. So after that, then I started like researching products, and so that was
Okay.
like 2006.
Mm-hmm.
So 3 years before I even started my blog, I was like mixing up my own cleaning products and trying to figure that out too. And then yeah, I mean, it's like years of, it's not, it has not been a fast process from where I started, but you could, I
Yeah.
mean, it's like this like through the years, I can see like this, it's woven through everything in a really, unique, fun way. But yeah,
I love that.
yeah,
Kinsey, what else? You have
I
anything?
have two little lingering questions that don't
yeah,
necessarily go together, but they kind of bridge off of what we've talked about.
yeah,
One is okay, so I have a 2-year-old. She's very helpful, but also not very helpful at the same time. And so
yeah,
when it comes to like cleaning your house, what's your tips on like involving your kids whenever they are also like you give them the thing to spray and they end up pouring it all over the place, or you like I say, hey, will you go throw this in the trash, and then she throws away 3 of her toys too in the process, or like just like the maintenance, like
she's
involving
a,
them.
yeah, she's probably just a little bit under that, like,
Developmental
yeah,
ability to actually, so it's like how do you like in the process of, or if you have like I'm about to have a newborn and I'll have her, and so it's like, or even our one of our sisters has 4 kids and they're all different ages,
yeah,
different abilities, different, so like what's your mentality when it comes to helping develop their skills the first 10-15 years to where you
yeah,
feel confident that they can do it,
yeah.
but also the grace during the time to clean up the messes as they're cleaning up
Well,
the
when my kids were really little, I had like a little caddy with their stuff in it, like their supplies. So I had like a mini duster and a cleaning cloth, and I had that like a very small spray bottle with water in it, so that they could help me. Baby wipes were great. Like if you don't
Mhm.
want to give them a spray bottle, give them baby wipes and have them wipe things down. Like that's also like I would set them loose on the baseboards
Oh,
with baby
brilliant. Because they're
wipes.
down there anyway.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So um, give give them a couple of supplies that you want them to, that are like they fit their hands. They can easily use them. They're not going to hurt themselves or hurt anything or damage anything. And then like I did like from the time my kids were babies, I vacuumed while they were napping because I wanted them to sleep through
Mm.
vacuuming. And vacuum is the kind of thing it's a little bit harder to do if you have little kids and they're out because you're needing to move things, and it's so
Mhm.
that was something like I just needed to them to sleep through that. And I know everyone says like sleep when the babies are sleeping, but I enjoyed kind of doing like home little
Mhm.
like kind of move like cleaning things, or I mean that was just kind of more me. But I
That's
mean, I don't
good.
think everyone's like that. But I think that just kind of seeing where they're at, and I always say like show, don't tell. So as they get
Mhm.
older, like you wouldn't want to tell like go throw this away. Like
Mhm.
if you, so she's not going to understand that unless you walk with her and throw
Mhm.
things away and show her exactly like when I tell you to throw this away, it's it's what I put in your hand. That's all that you're throwing
Mhm.
away. Show me if you can do it. I mean, And that's takes forever because it takes 10 times as long to show them rather than tell them.
Right.
But then the next time she'll probably get it closer. And then the next time she'll get it even closer just from that repetitive, like learning how to do that. And I think that the showing, don't telling, I mean, that works even as kids get older and they're like, you're telling them like, go clean your room. Well, no one knows, like, what? How am I supposed to go clean my room? Like,
Right.
they're going to alphabetize their books, or they're going to put the same thing away and then they're going to be reading for an hour. You're going to come back and like, what did you do? You have to show them, here, let's stack up your books. Let's put your dirty clothes in your hamper. Let's like very specific tasks instead of like a general task like cleaning your room, which is why it works to have a checklist when you're cleaning, even as an adult, because clean the kitchen. Well, what does that mean? How should I do that? Where do I start? What should I, we all need a little bit of direction.
That's so good. So good. Ken's, what's your other wee little question?
My other wee little question is, okay, so I'm like about to go on a trip and then I'll come back and it'll take about a week to get life back into the norm, or holidays are coming up and it's like, okay, now I have a ton of new stuff. What do I do with all these things? Or or it's just like a hard week, or I'm having a baby, so we're moving all the things around. So whenever there's things like that interrupt, okay, I'm just going to do my 4 or 5 things today, this week, and then we'll go from there. And instead, it's like, okay, now there's all this stuff all over the place, or 5 loads of laundry I need to do in these 2 days. How do you like start and finish those kinds of tasks while still bringing peace to your home and maintaining those other things? Like, what's like whenever you just get off track, what do you recommend doing?
So first of all, if you like, anytime I'm leaving on a trip for a weekend, whatever it is, and if everyone's going to be gone, like, and I try to make sure that there are things in place so that when I come back, it's easier. Like, I try to make sure that the laundry is already done so that I'm not adding 3 loads to 5 loads. Because that's overwhelming. So getting the laundry done before you go is helpful. Making sure everything's kind of clean and tidy so that you can leave. Like, I always think like, if I weren't to come back, like, what would if something happens and someone else has to break into our house? Like, we had some work being done in our house. We turned our water off. It was like on the outside, and I thought that they needed the hose outside, so we had to let the contractor in the house to turn our water on. Otherwise, they couldn't have done the work. And I was like, oh, like those sorts of things where you never, like, I didn't think we didn't think about it, but I think just kind of thinking through, like, if someone else walked in here, would this be like fruit basket upset, or would they like be like, oh, that's pretty clean? Just kind of thinking like through that. But if you are like in any stage of life, whether you're coming back from a trip, getting over being sick, coming home from the hospital with a new baby, like, just have as much as you possibly can, have a little bit of forethought on what do I need to be done to feel okay when I come back. What are like kind of like it's going to be different for everyone. So you might be like, I just want the bathrooms clean. Like with our third, I could not clean like the bathrooms were horrible because I couldn't clean them. Like I was so sick with that pregnancy, and I ended up hiring a cleaning company because I had a C-section. I was like, someone's got to do this. I can't do it, and I can't clean these bathrooms. But it was like I was fine that they weren't clean when I came back, because I knew I would get back to it. You know what I mean? Like, it was like I knew that it was I could get that back pretty easily. But I always start on the day that I come back. So if you come back from vacation and you come back Monday night, the next day is obviously Tuesday, it's dusting day. I just start right there. I don't try to make up, because I don't try to do Saturday, Sunday, Monday because I was gone those 3 days.
Oh, that's good.
I just start with that day.
That's
so
good.
I just like, because otherwise there's no point in trying to catch up. You weren't there. Like, that's just overwhelming. And then always, like, if that weekly task is too much, if dusting doesn't matter when I have 5 loads of laundry, don't do it. It will come around the next week.
That's
You can
good.
catch it up on Friday for catch-all day if you want, or it just put it off for the next week. It's dust, it's dirt, like it's always there. It's like it's never that big of a deal if you kind of spin a little perspective on it and realize like this is a season. It's always going to be different. When our kids were little, I would do everything I could to have them like, we had 3 like cleanup times. So after breakfast, after lunch, before naps, and then before dinner, like I would have them do like their little cleanups because they needed to be cleaning up that many times during the day because that was all the messes. And then it wasn't as overwhelming at the end of the day. If we hadn't cleaned anything up all day, by the time 6:30 rolls around, no one wants to clean up and they're crabby and need baths and they need to go to bed. Like we would do a little bit every day that way. And I think that was super, super helpful. I'd also like put them in the double stroller and, one would bike, the other 2 would go in a double stroller. We would go on a walk after the house was clean and before nap time, because then we could come back. I'd put them down for naps and it was nice and clean. They ate lunch at the park, so there wasn't anything on the floor. Like you have to think about like even those little things that don't seem like a big deal, it might feel really great on a day when you're overwhelmed and when you're like, I just need this house to stay clean for longer than 30 minutes.
It's good. So good. That's so good. We could talk for hours. We literally could talk for hours. But the good thing is you don't just exist on our podcast, right? And so share with our people how they can find you, how they can get to you, what you've got going on, what you're excited about.
Yeah, so my website is cleanmama.com. That's where you can find me. You can find my links to socials and all of that. I am most active on Instagram. That's also at Clean Mama, and Mama is MAMA. I have a membership. It's called Homekeeping Society. That's where we like-minded women are in that group. We're talking about our homes. We're talking about cleaning, and we're talking about implementing the Clean Mama routine. I have a shop. You can find all those things on cleanmama.com. Everything's linked very obviously. I have a really beautiful free guides page. So if you go to my website and sign up for my emails, you'll get a little password. That password works for the free guides page. You can get my free monthly calendar. It comes out every month. And that gives you the daily and the weekly tasks. I have tons of free printables. I have a packet that when you do sign up for the first time, you get like 19 pages of cleaning recipes, the full routine, cleaning tips, how to clean your bathrooms in 15 minutes, all the things. That's all in that little packet. So
routine at a glance, is that what it is? I think I did that. I printed it out. 19 pages of goodness, of cleaning goodness. Yeah, that's great. Kenzie, you got anything else?
I just want to say thank you for coming and sharing your expertise and taking the last 25 years to invest in this. And it is really a gift to bring order in places of chaos. And getting to partner with your kids in that. And it's changing generations for moms and dads to learn how to do this. And so just thank you.
Absolutely. All right, Crazy Cool Families. Yeah, thanks, Becky. All right, Crazy Cool Families, we are so thrilled that you were here today and you listened to us. We believe your homes are going to benefit from it greatly, from all of Becky's wisdom. We did write a Home Sweet Home deep dive, right, Kens? And that's at our crazycoolfamily.com. You can go there, look in our shop, and it's just a couple dollars just to bless your home. And Becky's information is in there as well, right, Kens?
Yeah, a link to her website for sure.
Our link there. All right. So go be crazy. We love you guys. crazycoolfamily.com.